welcome to our kitchen. We're about to embark on a culinary journey through Europe, exploring the heart and soul of 6 different countries, all without needing a passport. Today, we're diving headfirst into 6 of the most sought-after European recipes. These aren't your average bland dishes. These are the dishes that define their nations. Get ready to roll up your sleeves, because we're about to explore the intense flavors of Italy, France, England, Spain, Greece, and Hungary. Believe me, you'll be thanking me later. All right now, we're starting our culinary adventure in Italy, the land of passion, love, and bloody fantastic food. And when it comes to Italian classics, it doesn't get much more iconic than pasta carbonara. This isn't some soggy mess you order from a takeaway. This is a dish that demands respect, finesse, and a love for simple, quality ingredients. First off, the pasta. Forget your dried-out spaghetti. We're using fresh hand-rolled tagliatelle. It's got the perfect bite, the perfect texture, and it soaks up the sauce like a dream. Speaking of sauce, we're ditching the cream. That's right, you heard me. True carbonara relies on the silky emulsion of pasta water, eggs, and Parmesan cheese. Get this wrong, and you'll end up with scrambled eggs, and nobody wants that. Next, the guanciale. This, my friends, is the heart and soul of the dish. We're talking cured pork jowl, slowly rendered until it's crisp and golden. Forget your bacon. This is in a different league. Dice it up, fry it until it's singing, and then let it work its magic with the pasta water and cheese. Now, for the eggs. We're using fresh, free-range yolks, beaten with a generous grating of pecorino romano cheese. Season it with a pinch of salt and a good crank of black pepper. Remember, the heat from the pasta will cook the eggs, so don't even think about overcooking them. Once your pasta is cooked al dente, it's time to assemble this masterpiece. Working quickly, add the pasta to the pan with the guanciale, along with a ladleful of pasta water. Toss it all together, coating the strands in that beautiful glossy sauce. Now, take the pan off the heat and add your egg and cheese mixture. Stir it constantly, ensuring the heat from the pasta gently cooks the eggs, creating a velvety, luxurious sauce. Finally, serve your carbonara immediately, with an extra grating of pecorino romano and a final twist of black pepper. There you have it, a pasta carbonara that would make even the most discerning Italian nonna proud. Next stop, France, the land of romance, elegance, and of course, bloody good food. And when it comes to French classics, you can't go past a soul-warming French onion soup. This isn't some watery broth with a few soggy onions thrown in. This is a labor of love, a symphony of flavors that will have you licking the bowl clean. First things first, the onions. And not just any onions. We're talking about sweet caramelized onions that have been cooked low and slow until they're practically melting. Slice them thin, sweat them down in butter and a touch of oil until they're golden brown and smelling divine. This takes time, but trust me, it's worth it. Now, for the stock. We're using a rich, flavorful beef stock simmered for hours with aromatic vegetables and herbs. This is the backbone of our soup, so don't cut corners here. Use the best quality stock you can find, or better yet, make your own. Once the onions are caramelized and the stock is simmering away, it's time to deglaze the pan. This is where we add a splash of dry sherry or white wine, scraping up all those delicious brown bits from the bottom of the pan. This adds another layer of flavor to the soup that you just can't beat. Now, combine your caramelized onions, rich stock, and deglazed pan juices in a large pot. Bring it to a simmer and let it bubble away gently for at least 30 minutes, allowing the flavors to meld and deepen. While the soup simmers, it's time to prepare the croutons. Slice a baguette into thick slices and brush them with olive oil. Toast them in the oven until they're golden brown and crispy. Now, for the piece de resistance, the Gruyere cheese. Grate a generous amount and set it aside. To serve, ladle the hot soup into oven-proof bowls. Top each bowl with a toasted crouton and a generous pile of grated Gruyere cheese. Pop the bowls under a hot grill until the cheese is melted and bubbly, forming a golden crust over the soup. And there you have it. A French onion soup that's the very definition of comfort food. Right now, we're off to England. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bland food, soggy chips, and rainy days. But listen up, because we're about to tackle a dish that's the crown jewel of British cuisine. Beef Wellington. This is a showstopper, a dish that requires precision, skill, and a whole lot of love. First, the beef. We're using only the finest cut of beef tenderloin, trimmed and tied to perfection. This needs to be seared until it's beautifully browned all over, sealing in all those delicious juices. Don't even think about overcooking it. We want it rare and juicy in the middle. Next, the duxelles. This is a mixture of finely chopped mushrooms, shallots, and herbs, cooked down until it's rich, earthy, and intensely flavorful. This will add a layer of umami to the beef that will knock your socks off. Now, the pastry. Forget your shop-bought puff pastry, we're making our own. It's all about layering cold butter into the dough, creating hundreds of flaky, buttery layers that will melt in your mouth. Once you've got your seared beef, your flavorful duxelle, and your homemade puff pastry, it's time to assemble this masterpiece. Lay out a sheet of pastry and spread a thin layer of duxelles over the top. Place the seared beef tenderloin on top of the duxelles and carefully wrap the pastry around the beef, sealing it tightly. Now brush the pastry with egg wash and score it lightly with a sharp knife. This will help the pastry to cook evenly and give it that beautiful golden brown finish. Bake it in a preheated oven until the pastry is puffed and golden and the beef is cooked to your liking. Let it rest for at least 15 minutes before slicing and serving. This will allow the juices to redistribute, ensuring every bite is tender, juicy, and bursting with flavor. There you have it, a beef Wellington fit for a king. Chapter 4: Paella, a taste of Spanish sunshine. Next up, we're off to sunny Spain. Get ready for a fiesta in your mouth with a vibrant and flavorful paella. This dish is all about bringing people together, sharing food, and enjoying life's simple pleasures. First things first, the paella pan. This isn't just any old pan. It's a wide, shallow pan with sloping sides, specially designed to create the perfect paella. The wide surface area allows the rice to cook evenly, while the sloping sides help to create that crispy caramelized bottom layer known as the socarrat. Now the rice. We're using bomba rice, a short-grain rice that absorbs liquid like a sponge and retains its texture during cooking. Rinse the rice thoroughly to remove excess starch, then set it aside. Next, the sofrito. This is the base of our paella, a flavorful mixture of sautéed onions, tomatoes, garlic, and peppers. It's the foundation upon which all the other flavors will build. Now for the protein. Paella is a versatile dish, so you can use whatever you like. Chicken, chorizo, seafood, rabbit. The possibilities are endless. Brown your chosen protein in the paella pan, then set it aside. It's time to build our paella. Add the rice to the pan and toast it lightly for a minute or two. This will help to give the rice a nutty flavor and prevent it from sticking together during cooking. Now, add the sofrito, saffron water, and enough stock to cover the rice. Bring the mixture to a simmer, then arrange your chosen protein and any other ingredients you like on top of the rice. We're adding artichoke hearts, peas, and mussels for a taste of the sea. Cover the pan and cook over a low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, or until the rice has absorbed all the liquid and the protein is cooked through. Resist the urge to stir the paella during cooking, as this will make it mushy. Once the paella is cooked, remove it from the heat and let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes. This will allow the flavors to meld and the socarrat to develop. And there you have it, a taste of Spanish sunshine on a plate. Chapter 5: Moussaka, a Greek tragedy of deliciousness. Listen up, you lot. We're off to Greece, the land of ancient history, crystal clear waters, and some of the most delicious food on the planet. And when it comes to Greek classics, you can't go past moussaka. This isn't just a layered casserole. It's a symphony of textures and flavors that will transport you straight to a Greek taverna. First things first, the eggplant. Now, this is where most people go wrong. They fry the eggplant, making it greasy and heavy. Not in our kitchen. We're grilling the eggplant slices until they're tender and lightly charred, giving them a smoky depth of flavor. Next, the meat sauce. We're using ground lamb, cooked with onions, garlic, tomatoes, and a touch of cinnamon and oregano for that classic Greek flavor. This sauce needs to be rich, flavorful, and simmered until it's thickened beautifully. Now for the bechamel sauce. This creamy, luxurious sauce is the crowning glory of the moussaka. We're making it from scratch, whisking butter, flour, and milk together until it's smooth, velvety, and seasoned to perfection. Don't even think about using that store-bought rubbish. Time to assemble this Greek masterpiece. Layer the grilled eggplant slices in a baking dish, followed by the rich meat sauce. Top it all off with a generous layer of our homemade bechamel sauce, and sprinkle over a final dusting of grated cheese. Bake it in a preheated oven until the top is golden brown and bubbly. Let it rest for at least 15 minutes before serving, allowing the flavors to settle and the sauce to thicken slightly. There you have it, a moussaka that's a true taste of Greece. Chapter 6: Goulash, a Hungarian rhapsody. All right, you lot, our final destination. We're finishing our culinary journey in Hungary, a country known for its hearty stews, its vibrant culture, and its love of good food. And when it comes to Hungarian classics, you can't go past goulash. This isn't just a soup, it's a rich, flavorful stew that will warm you from the inside out. First things first, the beef. We're using chuck steak, cut into cubes and browned until it's beautifully caramelized all over. This will add a depth of flavor to the goulash that you just can't get from using leaner cuts of meat. Now for the onions. And I'm not talking about a few measly chopped onions. We're talking about a mountain of onions, slowly caramelized until they're sweet and golden brown. This is the heart and soul of the goulash, so don't be shy. Next, the paprika. And not just any paprika. We're using Hungarian sweet paprika, which has a deep, rich flavor that's essential to authentic goulash. Add a generous amount to the pan with the beef and onions, along with some caraway seeds and a touch of cumin for an extra layer of flavor. Now, for the vegetables. We're adding diced carrots, celery and potatoes, which will add sweetness, texture and body to the goulash. Cook them with the beef, onions and spices for a few minutes, allowing the flavors to meld. It's time to deglaze the pan. Add a splash of red wine, scraping up all those delicious brown bits from the bottom of the pan. This adds another layer of flavor to the goulash that you just can't beat. Finally, add enough beef stock to cover the meat and vegetables. Bring the mixture to a simmer, then cover the pan and cook over a low heat for at least 2 hours, or until the beef is meltingly tender. Serve your goulash hot, garnished with a dollop of sour cream or yogurt and a sprinkle of fresh parsley. And there you have it, a Hungarian rhapsody in a bowl. And there you have it, 6 incredible European recipes that are guaranteed to tantalize those taste buds and leave you wanting more. From the creamy decadence of pasta carbonara to the hearty warmth of Hungarian goulash, we've explored the heart and soul of European cuisine. Remember, cooking isn't about following a recipe blindly. It's about understanding flavors, respecting ingredients, and putting your own personal touch on every dish. Now get out there, get cooking, and show me what you're capable of. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more delicious Culinary Recipe Creations recipes from around the world. And as always, keep those kitchens clean and those standards high. Happy cooking!
Lobster Thermidor. The name itself evokes images of elegant dining rooms, sparkling crystal, and a culinary experience that transcends the ordinary. This classic French dish, named after a popular play in 1891, is a testament to the art of transforming simple ingredients into a symphony of flavors and textures. Lobster Thermidor is not merely a meal, it's a culinary journey, a celebration of fine dining and a dish that, when mastered, will impress even the most discerning palate. Imagine cracking open a lobster shell, its aroma filling the air with a tantalizing blend of seafood and subtle spices. The rich, creamy sauce infused with the delicate sweetness of lobster and the subtle heat of mustard clings lovingly to each succulent bite. This is Lobster Thermidor, a dish that embodies the essence of French cuisine, sophisticated, flavorful, and unforgettable. But the true beauty of Lobster Thermidor lies not just in its taste but also in its versatility. Whether you're planning a romantic dinner for two, a celebratory feast for friends and family, or simply want to treat yourself to a luxurious culinary experience, Lobster Thermidor is the perfect choice. It's a dish that effortlessly elevates any occasion, transforming an ordinary meal into a truly memorable one. To embark on this culinary adventure, you'll need a selection of ingredients as impressive as the dish itself. Fear not, for while the ingredient list may seem extensive, each element plays a crucial role in creating the symphony of flavors that is Lobster Thermidor. Think of it as an orchestra, with each ingredient contributing its unique note to the final harmonious masterpiece. First and foremost, you'll need 2 live lobsters, approximately 1.5 pounds each. These crustaceans are the stars of the show, their sweet, delicate meat forming the heart of the dish. Next, we move on to the supporting cast, the ingredients that will enhance and elevate the lobster's natural flavors. For the bechamel sauce, the creamy foundation of the dish, you'll need butter, flour, milk, salt, pepper, and a bay leaf. The sauce is flavored with dry sherry, Dijon mustard, and a pinch of cayenne pepper for a subtle kick. Freshly grated Parmesan cheese adds a salty, nutty depth of flavor. Finally, we have the aromatics, finely chopped shallots, garlic, and mushrooms. These ingredients, sautéed to perfection, add layers of complexity and depth to the filling, transforming it from simple to sublime. Now that you've assembled your ingredients, it's time to begin the process of transformation, starting with the lobsters. While the thought of dispatching live lobsters might seem daunting, remember, a true chef approaches every task with confidence and precision. A quick plunge into boiling water ensures the lobsters are cooked quickly and humanely. Once cooked, carefully remove the lobster meat from the shells, reserving the shells for later. This is a delicate task, requiring a gentle touch and a keen eye. Remember, we're after perfectly intact pieces of lobster meat, not shredded remnants. Dice the lobster meat into bite-sized pieces, ready to be enveloped in the luxurious sauce. While the lobster meat rests, turn your attention to the aromatics. Finely chop the shallots and garlic, their pungent aroma filling the air, a promise of the flavors to come. Slice the mushrooms thinly, their earthy aroma a counterpoint to the sweetness of the lobster. These aromatics, when sautéed, will form the flavor base of our thermidor filling. The bechamel sauce is the backbone of lobster thermidor, providing a creamy velvety base for the other flavors to shine. Mastering this classic French sauce is a rite of passage for any aspiring chef, and while it requires patience and attention to detail, the rewards are well worth the effort. Begin by melting the butter in a saucepan over medium heat. Once melted, whisk in the flour, ensuring there are no lumps. This mixture, known as a roux, is the foundation of our bechamel. Cook the roux for a few minutes, stirring constantly, allowing the raw flour taste to cook out and the mixture to brown. Gradually whisk in the cold milk, ensuring the roux is fully incorporated into the milk with each addition. Continue whisking until the sauce thickens. This is where patience is key. Resist the urge to rush the process. A rushed bechamel will be lumpy and lack the desired velvety texture. Once thickened, season the bechamel with salt, pepper, and a bay leaf. Simmer for a few minutes to allow the flavors to meld, then remove the bay leaf. Your bechamel, the creamy foundation of your lobster thermidor, is ready. Section 5. The essence of thermidor. Infusing the sauce. With our bechamel complete, it's time to transform it into the heart of our dish, the thermidor sauce. This is where the magic truly happens, as we infuse the creamy sauce with the flavors that define this classic dish. Start by adding the dry sherry to the bechamel, its nutty, slightly sweet notes complementing the richness of the sauce. Next, stir in the Dijon mustard, its sharp, tangy flavor cutting through the richness and adding a layer of complexity. A pinch of cayenne pepper adds a subtle heat, a whisper of warmth that lingers on the palate. Now, for the star of the show, the reserved lobster stock. This flavorful liquid, extracted during the lobster cooking process, is liquid gold, adding an intense depth of lobster flavor to our sauce. Simmer the sauce gently, allowing the flavors to meld and deepen. Taste and adjust the remembering that a true chef relies on their palate as much as any recipe. Finally, stir in a generous amount of grated Parmesan cheese, its salty, nutty flavor adding another dimension of complexity to our sauce. The cheese will also help to thicken the sauce slightly, creating the perfect consistency to coat the lobster meat. Section 6. The grand assembly, filling the lobster shells. With our thermidor sauce ready and waiting, it's time for the grand assembly. The moment when our dish begins to take its final form. Carefully spoon the diced lobster meat into the reserved lobster shells, ensuring each shell is generously filled. This is where your artistry comes into play, as you strive for a visually appealing presentation as well as a delicious one. Thermidor sauce over the lobster meat, ensuring each piece is coated in its creamy embrace. Don't be shy with the sauce, it's the star of the show. The sauce should pool slightly in the shells, creating a decadent well of flavor that will bubble enticingly as it bakes. At this stage, you can choose to cover and refrigerate the filled lobster shells for a few hours, allowing the flavors to meld further. This step is optional but highly recommended, as it allows the lobster meat to soak up all the delicious flavors of the thermidor sauce. Section 7. A golden finish, gratinating to perfection. The final act in our culinary performance involves a touch of theater, the dramatic transformation from creamy sauce to golden, bubbly perfection. Preheat your oven's broiler to high, ensuring it's piping hot and ready to work its magic. Retrieve your filled lobster shells from the refrigerator, if you chose to chill them. Sprinkle the remaining grated Parmesan cheese over each shell. creating a golden blanket that will transform into a crispy, cheesy crust under the intense heat of the broiler. Carefully transfer the lobster shells to a baking sheet and place them under the preheated broiler. Watch closely as the cheese melts and bubbles, turning a glorious golden brown. This process happens quickly, so keep a close eye on your thermidor to prevent burning. The perfect lobster thermidor boasts a golden, slightly browned crust, with the sauce bubbling enticingly beneath. Section 8. Sides of elegance, complementing your masterpiece. Lobster thermidor, with its rich flavors and luxurious textures, deserves a supporting cast of equally elegant side dishes. These accompaniments should complement, not overpower, the star of the show, enhancing the overall dining experience. Consider serving your thermidor with a side of steamed asparagus, its delicate flavor and vibrant green color providing a refreshing counterpoint to the richness of the lobster. Roasted potatoes, seasoned with herbs and a touch of garlic, offer a comforting and satisfying addition to the plate. A simple green salad, lightly dressed with a vinaigrette, provides a refreshing contrast to the richness of the dish. For a truly decadent experience, pair your lobster thermidor with a crisp, chilled white wine, such as a Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay. The wine's acidity will cut through the richness of the dish, cleansing the palate between bites. Section 9. A culinary triumph. Savoring the rewards as you carefully extract the first succulent morsel of lobster from its shell. The aroma filling your senses, a sense of accomplishment washes over you. You've done it. You've conquered the culinary Mount Everest, transforming simple ingredients into a symphony of flavors and textures. Lobster thermidor is not merely a dish, it's an experience. It's a celebration of fine dining, a testament to your culinary skills, and a dish that will impress even the most discerning palate. As you savor each bite, the creamy sauce clinging lovingly to the sweet, delicate lobster meat, remember the journey that brought you to this moment. Whether you're enjoying this culinary masterpiece with loved ones, celebrating a special occasion, or simply treating yourself to a well-deserved feast, take the time to savor the moment. This is what it's all about: the joy of cooking, the pleasure of sharing a delicious meal, and the satisfaction of creating something truly special.
Food is fuel for our bodies. Good food gives us energy. Good food makes us feel good. Balanced meals are important. They give us all the nutrients we need. Proteins build muscles. Carbohydrates give us energy. Healthy fats are good for our brains. Vitamins and minerals keep us healthy. Eating balanced meals is important for everyone. Steak and potatoes are a timeless pairing. This dish is simple to prepare. It never fails to impress. Ingredients: choose your preferred cut of steak, potatoes, olive oil, salt and pepper, and optionally, rosemary. Instructions: start by seasoning the steak with salt, pepper, and rosemary. Heat olive oil in a pan and sear the steak on both sides. Roast the potatoes in the oven until they are tender. Serve the steak alongside the roasted potatoes. Chicken and rice is a simple and satisfying meal. It is easy to customize with your favorite flavors. Ingredients: chicken breasts, rice, chicken broth, vegetables like carrots, peas, and onions, soy sauce, and garlic powder. Instructions: first, cook the rice according to package directions. Then, season chicken breasts with garlic powder. Sauté vegetables in a pan, add chicken, and cook until browned. Pour chicken broth and soy sauce, and simmer until the chicken is cooked through. Serve the chicken and vegetables over rice. Pasta and sauce is a blank canvas. You can use different types of pasta and sauces. Ingredients: pasta like spaghetti or penne, tomato sauce, garlic, onion, olive oil, and herbs such as basil and oregano. Instructions: first, cook the pasta according to package directions. Then, sauté garlic and onion in olive oil. Add tomato sauce and herbs and simmer until thickened. Finally, toss the cooked pasta with the sauce. Section 5, fish and chips, a British favorite. Fish and chips is a classic British dish. It's perfect for a casual meal. So, let's get started with the ingredients. You'll need whitefish fillets, potatoes, flour, beer, and of course, salt and vinegar. Now for the instructions. First, cut the potatoes into thick chips. Then make a batter with flour and beer. Dip the fish fillets into the batter. Next, deep fry the fish and chips until they're golden brown. Finally, season with salt and vinegar. And there you have it, a delicious plate of crispy fish and chips with a side of tartar sauce. Section 6, Salmon and Quinoa, a healthy choice. Salmon and quinoa is a healthy and delicious meal. It is packed with protein and nutrients. Ingredients: salmon fillets, quinoa, vegetables like broccoli and asparagus, lemon, and olive oil. Instructions: first, cook quinoa according to package directions. Then season salmon with salt, pepper, and lemon juice. Bake or grill salmon until cooked through. Steam or roast vegetables. Finally, serve salmon with quinoa and vegetables. Section 7, Shrimp Scampi with Pasta, a touch of elegance. Shrimp scampi with pasta is an elegant and flavorful meal. It is perfect for a special occasion. Ingredients: shrimp, pasta like angel hair or linguine, garlic, butter, white wine, lemon, and parsley. Instructions: first, cook the pasta according to package directions. Sauté garlic in butter. Add shrimp and cook until pink. Deglaze the pan with white wine. Toss the pasta with the shrimp sauce. Garnish with lemon juice and parsley. Section 8, Pork tenderloin with apple cider sauce, sweet and savory flavors. Pork tenderloin with apple cider sauce is a delicious combination of sweet and savory flavors. Ingredients: pork tenderloin, apple cider, apples, onion, brown sugar, and Dijon mustard. Instructions: first, sear pork tenderloin in a pan. Sauté onion and apples. Add apple cider, brown sugar, and Dijon mustard. Simmer until the sauce thickens. Slice the pork tenderloin and serve with the apple cider sauce. Section 9, Beef bourguignon, a French classic. Beef bourguignon is a classic French stew. It is a hearty and flavorful meal. Ingredients: beef stew meat, bacon, onions, carrots, red wine, beef broth, thyme, and bay leaf. Instructions: first, brown the beef in a large pot. Cook bacon until crisp. Sauté onions and carrots. Add red wine, beef broth, thyme, and bay leaf. Simmer for several hours until the beef is tender. Serve with mashed potatoes or crusty bread.
There's a certain magic to crafting your own infused spirits. It's like capturing the essence of your favorite flavors in a bottle, ready to elevate your cocktails to new heights. Bourbon and whiskey, with their rich, complex profiles, serve as exceptional canvases for flavor experimentation. Imagine sipping on a smoky, maple-infused bourbon, the warmth spreading through you with every sip. Or perhaps a bright, citrusy whiskey sour, muddled with fresh berries and herbs, tantalizes your taste buds. The possibilities are endless. Infusing your own spirits allows you to personalize your drinks, creating unique flavor profiles that reflect your individual taste. It's a journey of discovery, where you become the artist, painting your own masterpiece of flavor with every infusion. So, let's embark on this adventure together, exploring the art of bourbon and whiskey infusions and unlocking a world of mixological possibilities. Infusion, at its core, is a simple process of steeping ingredients in alcohol to extract their flavors. But don't let the simplicity fool you. The results can be incredibly complex and rewarding. When you infuse bourbon or whiskey, you're essentially marrying the spirit's inherent notes with the essence of your chosen ingredients. The alcohol acts as a solvent, drawing out the flavors and aromas, creating a harmonious blend that's greater than the sum of its parts. The key to successful infusion lies in understanding the flavor profiles you're working with. Think about the inherent sweetness of bourbon, the spicy rye notes in some whiskeys, and how these will interact with your chosen ingredients. Do you want to enhance the existing flavors, creating a smoky, oaky explosion? Or perhaps introduce contrasting notes, like the sweetness of fruit or the refreshing zest of citrus? For those who appreciate a bit of fire in their glass, smoky and spicy infusions are a must-try. These bold flavors complement the robust character of bourbon and whiskey, creating a symphony of warmth and complexity. Imagine the alluring aroma of hickory-smoked pecans infusing your favorite bourbon, adding a layer of smoky depth that lingers on the palate. Or perhaps the fiery kick of chili peppers, carefully balanced with the sweetness of maple syrup, sets your senses ablaze. Consider experimenting with spices like star anise, cloves, or even black peppercorns for a warming, aromatic infusion. For a smoky twist, try infusing with smoked tea leaves or even a touch of smoked paprika. Remember, the key with smoky and spicy infusions is to achieve a balance of flavors. Start with small quantities of your chosen ingredients, tasting as you go, to ensure you don't overpower the spirit's inherent character. If you prefer your cocktails on the sweeter side, fruity and herbal infusions offer a delightful array of options. These infusions add a refreshing twist to bourbon and whiskey, creating drinks that are both flavorful and approachable. Imagine muddling fresh raspberries and basil in a glass, their juices mingling with the smooth, oaky notes of bourbon. Or perhaps a bright, citrusy infusion with hints of grapefruit and rosemary enlivens your favorite whiskey sour. The possibilities are endless. Stone fruits like peaches and apricots lend a delicate sweetness, while berries add a burst of tartness. Tropical fruits like pineapple and mango transport you to a sunny paradise with every sip. Don't be afraid to experiment with herbs and spices to complement the fruit. A touch of lavender or vanilla bean can add a touch of floral elegance, while ginger or cinnamon bring warmth and complexity.
Welcome to the Culinary Recipe Creations kitchen. Listen up because we're about to take you on a delicious journey. We're talking North America's most iconic dishes. Get ready to ditch the takeaway menus and learn how to cook these classics properly. Today we're tackling 4 dishes that'll make you wonder why you haven't been cooking them all your life. Mac and cheese, chili, Cobb salad, and the Canadian masterpiece, poutine. Get your aprons on, sharpen your knives, and let's get cooking. All right, you guys, we're starting with a classic, the king of comfort food, mac and cheese. But this isn't some bland boxed rubbish. We're going for restaurant quality, the kind that'll have you licking the plate clean. First, the cheese sauce. None of that processed nonsense. We're talking a blend of sharp cheddar, creamy Gruyere, and a touch of Parmesan for that extra oomph. Get a roux going. That's butter and flour for you amateurs. Then slowly whisk in whole milk. Don't even think about rushing this, or you'll end up with lumpy sauce. And nobody wants lumpy sauce. Once your roux is smooth as silk, slowly melt in your cheese blend. Low and slow, people. Keep stirring until it's all incorporated and gloriously glossy. Now season it up. Salt, pepper, a pinch of cayenne if you like a bit of a kick. Next, the pasta. Elbows are the classic choice, but feel free to experiment. Just make sure you cook them al dente, which means to the tooth in Italian. We want a bit of bite, not mushy pasta. Now, mix that beautiful cheese sauce with your cooked pasta. And don't be shy, get it all coated. This is mac and cheese, not some sad excuse for a salad. You can either serve it straight away or transfer it to a baking dish. Top it with some breadcrumbs and extra cheese. And bake it until it's golden brown and bubbly. Trust me, this mac and cheese is so good, it'll make you weep with joy. It's the kind of dish that brings people together, that warms you from the inside out. So go on, give it a try. And don't forget to thank Culinary Recipe Creations for showing you the way. Right, it's time to warm your insides with a steaming bowl of chili. This isn't some watery, bland concoction. This is a flavor explosion, packed with meat, beans, and spices that'll blow your socks off. Start by browning some quality ground beef in a large pot. We want it nice and caramelized with those lovely crispy bits. Drain off any excess fat. We're not running a greasy spoon here. Then toss in your diced onions, peppers, and jalapenos. And don't be shy with the jalapenos. We want a chili with some welly. Once your veggies have softened, it's time for the good stuff. The spices. We're talking cumin, chili powder, smoked paprika, oregano, and a touch of cayenne for that extra kick. Fry them off with the meat and veggies for a minute or two to release their full flavor. Now, add your chopped tomatoes, kidney beans, and beef broth. Bring it all up to a simmer, then turn down the heat and let it bubble away for at least an hour. The longer it simmers, the richer and more flavorful it'll become. While your chili is working its magic, we can talk toppings. Sour cream, shredded cheese, chopped cilantro, sliced avocado. The possibilities are endless. But the most important thing is to have fun with it and make it your own. This chili is the perfect meal for a cold night, a game day, or any time you need a hearty, satisfying meal. It's a real crowd pleaser, and it's guaranteed to impress even the pickiest eaters. So get stuck in and show those taste buds who's boss. Listen up! Just because we're making a salad doesn't mean we're going soft. This is Culinary Recipe Creations Cobb Salad, and it's a bloody masterpiece. Packed with fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and a dressing that'll make you want to lick the bowl clean. First, the base. We're talking crisp romaine lettuce, torn into bite-sized pieces. None of that limp, soggy lettuce. Then we build our layers. Crispy bacon, cooked to perfection and crumbled. Juicy, ripe tomatoes, cut into wedges. Hard-boiled eggs, cooked to perfection and sliced. And of course, creamy avocado, diced and ready to go. But the star of the show is the dressing. None of that bottled rubbish. We're making our own, with Dijon mustard, red wine vinegar, olive oil, and a touch of honey for sweetness. Whisk it all together until it's emulsified and glorious. Now, assemble your salad. Arrange your lettuce on a platter, then top it with your bacon, tomatoes, eggs, avocado, and crumbled blue cheese. Drizzle with your homemade dressing and season generously with salt and pepper. This Cobb salad is a symphony of flavors and textures. It's fresh, it's satisfying, and it's perfect for a light lunch or dinner. And the best part is, it's actually good for you. So ditch those sad desk salads and treat yourself to something special. All right, it's time to cross the border and tackle a Canadian icon, poutine. This dish is all about indulgence, crispy fries, squeaky cheese curds, and rich, savory gravy. It's the ultimate comfort food, and it's guaranteed to satisfy your cravings. First, the fries. We're not messing around with frozen chips here. We're making them from scratch, using russet potatoes, cut into thick-cut fries. Fry them twice for extra crispiness, and season them generously with salt. Next, the cheese curds. These are essential for authentic poutine, and they add a wonderful squeaky texture. Make sure you get fresh cheese curds from a local cheese shop if you can. Finally, the gravy. This is what brings the whole dish together, so don't skimp on the flavor. We're making a rich, savory gravy using beef broth, butter, flour, and a touch of Worcestershire sauce for depth. To assemble your poutine, pile your hot fries into a bowl. Top with a generous handful of cheese curds, then ladle over your hot gravy. The heat from the fries and gravy will start to melt the cheese curds, creating a wonderfully gooey and delicious mess. This poutine is a heart attack on a plate, but it's so worth it. It's the perfect dish to share with friends, or to enjoy as a guilty pleasure. So go on, indulge yourself. Indulge. Well, there you have it. 4 classic North American recipes that'll make you the envy of your friends and family. We've tackled mac and cheese, chili, Cobb salad, and poutine, and we've shown you how to make them all properly. Now it's your turn. Get in the kitchen, get creative, and show us what you've got. And don't forget to subscribe to the Culinary Recipe Creations channel for more culinary adventures. Until next time, we hope to see you again real soon. Bye for now. Take care.